With OnePlus phones hitting new highs when it comes to pricing, the company has been introducing new models to fill the glaring price segment gaps in its portfolio. However, that ever-widening portfolio is also seeing more and more devices inspired by the broader BBK portfolio. The OnePlus 10R, however, might be the first time we are seeing two nearly identical phones launched simultaneously. Is it the end of OnePlus as we know it, or does the never-settling brand has some fight in it? We find out in the Cellguru review. Appearances can be deceiving, but not so much in the case of the OnePlus 10R. The phone looks like no other OnePlus phone before it in more ways than one. The flat edges and equally flat back are in sharp contrast to the more natural curve-inspired design OnePlus has going on with the rest of its portfolio. While the iPhone-like flat edges gives you a good grip over the phone, the OnePlus 10R feels surprisingly big given the size of the display. Moreover, the design is entirely polycarbonate and glass and certainly doesn't feel as luxurious as the price suggests. However, the real kicker is the absence of an alert slider. Now, we've seen some budget OnePlus phones go without it, but it is astonishing to see a premium OnePlus phone drop the hallmark feature. It's come to be known as one of the most distinguishing features for the brand and is genuinely useful to boot, so the absence of the feature is particularly disappointing. Switching over to the display, the 6.7-inch 120Hz AMOLED screen looks plenty good. With support for HDR, watching multimedia content is a treat and avid Netflix addicts will find it handy for watching videos on the go. The stereo speakers also add to the experience. Other features include a quality in-display fingerprint scanner that is quick to unlock the phone and get going. No IP rating here though, so you'd be well advised to keep the phone out of the water. On the performance side, the OnePlus 10R is going with the MediaTek 8100 chipset for its performance chops. It's fast and the phone can handle high-end games with ease. Benchmarks place the phone closer to the last year's flagship, but the MediaTek 8100 one-ups the Snapdragon 888 with better thermal management, making it a great choice. The clean software build also adds to the experience. One of the hallmark features of the OnePlus 10R is its spanking new 150-watt charging support. In fact, the phone ships in two configurations, one with 4500 mAh battery and 150-watt support, and another with a 5000 mAh battery and 80-watt support. Despite the huge difference on paper, the gulf between 150 and 80-watt charging isn't quite as huge, and in our opinion, most users will be perfectly content with the extremely fast 80-watt charging and larger battery. The latter ensures that the phone can last a few more of gaming or any other tasks you throw at it. The cameras, on the other hand, are adequate at best. Now, OnePlus isn't exactly known for the best cameras on the market to begin with, but the combo here is far from class-leading. The primary 50-megapixel sensor is predictably the most capable with good dynamic range and a lot of detail. The phone handles daylight shots just fine. Low-light shots aren't too bad either with ample detail, though we've seen better elsewhere. The secondary cameras, however, leave much to be desired. The 8-megapixel ultra-wide has significantly worse color science and details than the primary shooter. This picture quality dips even further once the light drops. The 2-megapixel macro camera is nothing special either, and we struggled to get usable shots out of it. Price starting at 38,999 rupees, the OnePlus 10R is a curious beast. It's a phone that just doesn't feel like a OnePlus phone, and longtime fans will have plenty to dislike about that fact. But what's more astonishing is that you can get the Realme GT Neo 3, a phone that is identical in specs to the OnePlus 10R, for an even lower price. But before you get carried away, while the two phones might be identical in specs, there are some differences. For one, Realme's phone ships with the ample bloatware pre-installed, while the OnePlus does not. Additionally, the OnePlus 10R gives you longer software support for a total of 3 major updates and 4 years of security patches versus 2 major updates and 3 years of patches on the GT Neo 3. Finally, the more subtle design of the OnePlus 10R might be a bit more appealing to some users. Overall, the OnePlus 10R isn't really a bad phone. It gets the basics right, but the lack of identity might be its undoing and give further fuel to the never-ending conversation that the old OnePlus is well and truly dead.